Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the House of Valentina. Boy, it's an exciting time here. Lots of fun projects going on. And one of the things that we're most excited about is one of the biggest trends that's coming up for 2026. And basically we're gonna forecast some trends today that we think you're gonna absolutely love and ones that we see people jumping on already. And man, people cannot get enough of these. This is the style that you're gonna see popping up throughout fall and winter of 2025, and then all throughout 2026 and beyond. Honestly, I really think this is one of those trends that is so big, it's gonna stay for a while. So I hope you'll hit subscribe, hang out a bit, check out our trends playlist. I think you'll see that this is a style we've talked about a little bit, but it has really picked up and people are absolutely loving it. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into today's video, the biggest trend of 2026. Let's go. All right, coffee is down because man, I'm getting excited. This has just been such a fun year, hasn't it? 2025, we've been chugging along, we've been decorating, we're having a great time. A lot of us are renovating our homes. It's been such a fun year already. And as we look into 2026, the style that people cannot stop talking about is this rustic modern style. So I thought it'd be really fun to talk about what it is about this style that's making it so popular. Why are people going so crazy over it? And how do you bring this style into your home? No matter what style architecture you have, no matter where your home is located, this is a style that works for everyone on the planet, which is why I think it's so popular. It's why people want it so much. And it really just ticks this box for people, this thing that everyone always seems to want. So what is it about it that everyone wants? I think what it is that this rustic modern style, there's a cozy factor to it. It's what every time I've ever done an interview with a client, we're talking about a design project that's coming up, there is one word that always comes up when it's about home, and it's always the word cozy. No one ever asks for a really cold, sterile home. Never. In all the years I've been doing this, cozy is something that everybody wants. And I don't blame them. And I think that's why this style has gotten so big and why it's gonna be the biggest style for 2026. People are just craving that warmth and that coziness, but they don't necessarily want it in the way it's always been done. And I think that's why there's a little bit of a break from traditional style. Don't get me wrong, traditional style, that's a style that never goes out, right? The whole point of traditional style is that it's a preservation. It's there to stay forever and ever. And you can actually use rustic modern alongside a traditional style. You can kind of infuse this style into any style home, like I said, and it can go into a traditional home, it can go into a modern home, it can go into a contemporary home, it can go into, you could be in Cape Cod, you can be in Texas, you can be in Nevada, you can be in England or Spain, anywhere you are. Because the thing about the style is that it's really all about infusing a cozy factor alongside this modern clean line feeling. So the materials that in this style are what, for me, it's what gets me. It's what it keeps me coming back to this over and over. I have found myself, even just for my own projects, my own house, just craving these rough materials. And that's where I think it's just really catching on and it's here to stay. Any material like the travertine we've been talking about, rough marbles, basically anything that's leathered and honed, whether it's granite, whether it's a quartzite, whether it's a marble, these materials that are really tactile and really warm and really just, they have this organic feeling to them. We just cannot get enough. You're gonna have to let me know down in the comments if you feel the same way, but it is like, people just want it. They cannot get enough. We were at the Stone Yard recently and we were asking, what's the most popular thing? And they said, basically, they're seeing lots of different styles from black to Taj Mahal quartzite. But no matter what people are picking and anything in between, not so much picking stark white, we can get into that in just a second, but basically they all want something that's honed and or leathered. They're like, how many things can you do to this thing to make it as rough as possible? I really love it. For me, it's something I've always loved. It's not that something being leathered or honed is a new thing. It's the fact that it's what people are just wanting everywhere. That polished is starting to go out and rough and rustic is everywhere. So you're gonna see a lot of tumbled travertine, you're gonna see a lot of those rough materials being used for basically from the curb all the way through the house and out to the backyard. People are wanting it for the front, they're wanting it for their facades, they're wanting it for their flooring, their backsplashes, they're wanting it for their back patios and pool areas, rough, rustic feeling in their walls and retaining walls, everything, the whole thing, everything's going quite rustic. But the interesting thing is that this style can go into a modern farmhouse as well. I think it actually is part of why it's growing in popularity, because a lot of people that were doing modern farmhouse feel like they're supposed to be doing something new. You know, it's been around for quite some time and they're ready to try something else. And this rustic modern style, it fits perfectly with a style like a modern farmhouse. This is why I think it's gonna be so big. Now, let's talk about some more materials, not just those big surfaces. Let's talk about wood tones. That's a big shift as well. We've been seeing that people want less polished floors for quite some time. We've been moving this direction for a while. When big companies like Pottery Barn, West Elm, Crate and Barrel, RH, who isn't going this direction, right? Everybody is going this direction right now. People are wanting something that feels just a little bit rustic, even if they're living in a penthouse in New York. There's something about those materials and this feeling that it gives you. There's a warmth, it's a tactileness, and it's something really approachable. It makes something that can be quite modern and clean lined suddenly feel really comfortable and just, I think it's a bit seductive as well. You just feel seduced to come and sit and enjoy, and it feels more relaxed than something that's really polished. And I think that's why so many people are jumping onto this style. So when it comes to your furniture, what are we doing with furniture? What are we doing with paint? What kind of a color palette goes with this? Oh my gosh, there's so many good things. The color palette, let's start with that, okay? Color palette is moving to a little bit more of a warmer palette. We're moving away from stark whites, which I get it, right? I'm living in a really white house, but even I have been going through my home and starting to paint in warmer colors because we're just starting to crave that warmth that a warmer white, even just a warmer white can provide, even just a warmer beige or taupe. You could definitely still use blacks. We're just going for more muted tones. And thankfully for me, matte. So instead of glossy sheens on all of our paints, we're starting to really just crave something that's really, really just matte and soft. And I've been saying this for years. The chalk paints and the paints that they have in Europe, they have this softer, more tactile feel, and you can achieve that look by just simply using a matte or flat paint. And we're using it on everything from entire fireplaces to mantles to door frames to doors, everything. So we're taking the gloss off of pretty much everything. So what does that mean as far as, there's so many things. I'm like, let's talk about furniture before we get to accessories and lighting. I'm like, oh boy, it's so good. Love a little touch of glamour, and I think that's where this style is just winning, because in this style it's that modernness that balances out the rusticness. So with the furniture, we're seeing sofas that are a little bit more clean lined. We're also seeing sofas still be quite sinuous and curved. People are wanting something that just feels grand but comfortable. They're wanting something that feels special but approachable and something that can be used on a daily basis. So think about a curved arm, think about a curved back. This style is as far as the coffee tables, think about using natural materials, but done in a more elevated and sophisticated way. So think about those wood tables done in round shapes. We're going a lot for those chunky coffee tables with the big fat legs, and I'm like, oh, I am here for it. Everyone is coming out with this, and we just can't get enough. You'll have to let me know if you agree that this is the style that is literally going to be taking over, and that you're already jumping on, because trends don't happen overnight. At least they shouldn't. The good ones that are really meant to last, that you really want to invest your money into, these are not micro trends. We're trying to avoid the micro trends and jump onto the ones that we will want for years to come. That once we buy something, even if it's a boucle pillow, we're gonna want it now, we're gonna want it 10 years from now. Now, in this style, I think the thing that can really be tempting is to do only rustic materials. But the thing about it is that it's not all rustic. There's a balance, right? You're balancing rustic with modern. And that modern side of things is what gives you the clean lines. It gives you a little bit of sharpness. It gives you a little bit of contrast. And so if you're putting all of these things together and you're going for a warmer color palette, you really need that black to balance it, because otherwise it just gets a little blah. And people just tend to get tired of blah. Something that's just a little too washed out. So the sharpness of a touch of black in your home, whether that's doorknobs or a fireplace, you're gonna still crave it. When it comes to the coffee table, don't think just all one color, all beige, all cream. Nope, you need a little punch. In this style, you're gonna see a lot of dark, rich brown, as well as a lot of accents, because it's softer, a little softer than black. I personally like the combination of black and brown together within this style. And the color palette, when it comes together, is just pure bliss. Now, when it comes to the accessories, it is so much fun to play with this style, because it really can be a mix of things that are really, really rustic. And then don't think like 20 or 30 years old, think ancient. That's why we're all just like, gosh. It's a lot of fun, because all those antique pieces, the antique jugs, the antique cutting boards, all these old vessels, bring it. This style is perfect for it. The only thing is that you don't want every single thing to be rustic, so you're balancing that with something that's clean lined and something that might even be just a little jarring, like a little spiky vase, a little spiky piece, maybe some woven leather trays and boxes, and you're gonna have a sculpture inserted into this to just create this really rustic yet modern blend. It's glorious. You can't spend enough on the sculptures. You're gonna continue to want them, whether they're spheres or abstract shapes, if they're in creamy beiges or black, just bring it. And if you wanna do some in wood, wood chains, wood spheres, marble and travertine still work as well for these large spheres. I've still got mine after all these years. I'll leave the link for all of these items down below. But basically the style is creating this elevated feel, and you're taking a combination and putting them together. So this style lives perfectly if you're living in the countryside and you want to have a more rustic setting, but you want to take that more modern shape to the building and infuse some rustic materials into it. So if you have a modern farmhouse and you went really white and really stark, you can still keep with that and then start adding in planters that have a roughness to them. Do you see how it doesn't mean you have to go out and paint everything? You may want to, because those creamy exteriors are really coming in. But for me, how I'm doing it is I'm starting to add that travertine into my black and white palette. It's a way of warming it up and blending these styles together. It keeps the modernness while also adding in that rusticness that I am craving. Let's talk about rugs as well, because this is a style that of course, everyone wants to know what kind of rugs, what kind of curtains, what am I buying? Well, with the rugs, it can be a combination. You can go for jutes, you can go for sisal, you can also go for Persians in this style. And you can also go for something that's a little bit more luxurious, it has a little bit of a sheen to it. You can go for something that's a little bit more abstract because you're bringing in the modern element, and simply what you're doing is just infusing something really ancient with something really modern. And I think that this is why this has gotten so popular, and you're gonna see it throughout the rest of this year and on into 2026. So I'm thinking even for like the holidays, think of this style at the holidays. Because I don't know about you, but this is how I think. Every time I think of trying something new, I always think, what's it gonna feel like at Christmas? I don't know if you're like that, but I am. It doesn't even matter if I'm decorating in January or February, I'm still gonna think about what it's gonna look like in December. Because for me, that's like it's the ultimate litmus test as to whether this style is something that I will want the whole year. And with this one, I think it's just perfect. Think about like rough, think about beautiful bendy boughs of greenery and velvet bows. Think about the little spheres that we have in big bowls and ornaments like that. Like, it's a combination of, oh my. So when it comes to lighting with this style, you're gonna wanna go a little bit more grand, you wanna upsize. It brings in a little feeling of that luxury, which is really becoming popular within this style. It's not just rustic and modern, it's also quite luxurious. The style is translating across the board in all shapes and sizes of homes. And I think that's why it's gonna be the big style for 2026. And actually, I think it's gonna just continue to grow in popularity. We were talking a few years ago about warm minimalism, and we've moved away a little bit from the minimalism and more towards something kind of in between. We don't want it too maximalist because then it just makes us all nervous. But we don't want it too minimal either. But the warmth that we've been craving in these past few years, it's going nowhere. And so what you're gonna see is that a lot of companies are gonna come out with all kinds of lighting that's very grand. It gives that luxury feel. You can shop at places like West Elm and Pottery Barn. Of course, you can shop the designer places as well. This style, again, it's gonna work anywhere. But you'll want to balance this feeling of something that can be a little bit rustic with the lighting can be quite pristine. So think about like an iron, think about matte black. So you can also think about champagne brass and even a champagne nickel. That's gotten really popular again as well. But you also may want to include some modern shapes as well. So it's a balance here of the materials themselves not being so glossy. Why have we been moving away from that for years? And we're just craving something that's just, it's soft, it's rustic, it's tactile. To me, it's just absolutely glorious. And I think that it's really beautiful. I think it's here to stay for a really, really long time. And I am dying to hear what you guys think. I'd love to hear what style home you have and whether you think that this is a style. First of all, maybe you're already on it and you're like, I'm there, I've been there, I love it. Maybe it's a style that you're like, whoa, I'm gonna have to really think about this one. Let me know what kind of style home you live in, what style home you crave. When I polled you guys over on Instagram, I asked you what style homes you loved, and these rustic modern exteriors were the one that won out. And so I think that's really, it's telling to me that people are ready for something that feels calmer, they're ready for something that feels more organic. We're wanting something that just feeds our soul. It's something that feels special, it feels elevated, it feels like we can grab the materials that are native to where we live, and it's extraordinary. So stone, wood, boucles, wools, linen, all of these materials are really natural. There's this organic element that's riding kind of in here. We're kind of playing with those words, organic modern and rustic modern, right here together. It's really hard to really separate them. They really just kind of work together, don't they? And basically, whether it's the food that we're eating or the outfits that we're wearing, it's the houses that we're making is all moving towards this rustic yet elegant feel. And that's why I think that style is just here to stay. So you'll have to let me know what you guys think. But yeah, we are absolutely loving it. It's what our clients are asking for. Everybody's wanting this feeling, and it's got us really excited. So I'm so pumped. I'll leave some links down below from everything from those wool blankets, the alpaca. Oh my gosh, we could just talk for ages about this style. But I hope I've gotten you pumped full of inspiration to create the beautiful home of your dreams. And you'll have to let me know if this style is just hitting it for you. I'd really love to know. Make sure you hit subscribe. Check out our trends video collection. We have so many videos in there, and it's really fun to see inspiration and how styles develop over the years. And I think that also you'll hear a lot of, we avoid trends that are micro trends. We don't want you to invest your money into something that's here today and gone tomorrow. Styles will always segue, they'll always move and breathe, but this style, these elements, these are things I think you're gonna want for the rest of your life. And I think that's really exciting. There's something classic and everlasting about this idea. It's really a lifestyle attached to it, and I think that's why it's just everything we want right now. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Let me know if you're excited about it as well. And I will leave as many links as I can if you want to do a little bit of shopping, and also links to my Pinterest where I find so much inspiration, and I love sharing that with you guys as well. So I guess I better get to my computer. I've got some more design projects coming up, and I cannot wait to share those with you. And I'm about out of daylight, aren't I? I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye for now.